What's up, everyone? It's Michael here, aka Dangstrat. I hope all is well. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Today is Sunday, July 13th, and it's 9:51 p.m. Eastern Time right now as I make this video. Here's my weekly outlook for the upcoming week for the Forex, indices, and the crypto market. So starting off with DXY on the daily time frame here, you can see that we have retraced to the midpoint of this dealing range. So this was our target from last week. Last week's outlook. Here was the markup that I made from last week's video. And again, Monday, we had a big move on Monday, and that set the low of the week there on Monday. We hit this midpoint towards the end of the week, and now that we're at this midpoint, I will be watching for a potential reversal back to the downside here for dollar. There's low resistance liquidity that has been built up for sell side now. So now I am looking for the raid, and then we will be watching for a reversal here for dollar. Possibly what I'm thinking is we could take out this high here, and then we do have this imbalance over here. Trying to draw the box 1 second. Okay, so we got that small little volume imbalance there, and then we have buy side liquidity right here. So one thing I'm possibly watching for, the structure hasn't broken down to the downside yet, so we'll continue to monitor this. The structure is still bullish right now. It's still creating higher highs and higher lows with this low resistance liquidity. Again, ideally I would want to see basically a raid on this high, kind of following the same markups from last week's outlook. So I'm gonna just remove some of this for now and then redraw this. So again, this is the midpoint of the dealing range. We've hit that level. I'm gonna go on a H4 time frame here, and basically looking for something like this here for dollar. So with that being said, that is what I'm watching at for dollar. Now moving over to EU. On this dealing range, you have swing low, swing high here on the H4 time frame. And we've taken out this low here. We haven't reached this midpoint of the range yet. So ideally, I would like to see one more raid on this low, hit the midpoint of this dealing range, and then start looking for a reversal from there. So that means, if dollar continues higher to this buy side level and this imbalance here, this volume imbalance, then EU should make another low here and potentially hit this midpoint, and then start looking for a reversal from there. So that is what I'm looking at for EU. GU, on the other hand, is looking quite weak here, just because if you take a look at EG, this has been quite bullish since it reversed in June. EG is bullish, so it's probably going to continue to be bullish up until this high here. So I prefer EU longs over GU longs, just because if you look at this as well, we have low resistance liquidity here for buy side on EU rather than GU. It still is low resistance from here, from there to there, but again, this one's just a tad bit weaker right now, so prefer EU more. Moving over to the indices market, starting off with NQ. I'm going to remove this I talked about this scenario here, how this was a potential deviation of this range. So we had the range high and basically this as the range low. We deviated that level and then we traded higher to the range high, and it's kind of been trading sideways this past week or so. So right now, I'm gonna go to ES here on the weekly time frame. If you look at the weekly time frame, you know, we hit this all-time high level. We have an imbalance down here. So ideally for me, I would like to see a retracement to this imbalance. Looks like we had a flat open there as well. So ideally retrace to the imbalance and then start looking for longs from there. I am still bullish on ES for this summer, and again, I ideally would like to see something like this here for ES. Right now you can use this as the range. You have range high and range low here, so we can get a deviation on the range low, tag that imbalance. That would be a nice setup for longs there for ES. So same idea with NQ. Let's go on the weekly chart for NQ, and you can see this here is the weekly imbalance for NQ. So if we trade lower to start this week, see, ES is already a bit closer to taking out that range low. So yeah, I'll probably watch ES over NQ this week. I feel like the setup's a little bit cleaner, but either way, we'll see if we can get something like that for NQ. That would be my ideal scenario. And then you can see this range is the range I'm watching, and then you know you have range high here and then another range low there. So those are the range that I'm watching for indices. And now moving over to crypto, I took profits here at the range high slash the all-time high level there for BTC. So this was probably one of my best trades in terms of RR. This was 4.6 RR on this swing for BTC, and now it's trading almost at 120k here, the new all-time high. And now it's just in price discovery mode. So again, things look good right now. We'll see how high this can excuse me, tongue twister there. We'll see how high this can continue to go for this summer. But again, I've talked about this in the past. I think this cycle will probably end sometime in September. So we will try to milk it as much as we can until that time, but who knows? We will see. So that is it for today. Just a quick recap here. DXY hit the midpoint of this dealing range. That was our target from last week. And so now we will be watching for a reversal. The order flow on the H4 time frame is still bullish, so we will see if, if it continues to make higher highs and higher lows. I'm expecting this high to get taken out, and then maybe from there possibly look for a potential reversal. Same idea with, or vice versa with EU here. We've been making higher highs and higher lows. We are building up low resistance liquidity for buy side, which I like to see when I'm looking for longs. So we'll see. Once things break structure on the H4 time frame, then we can start looking for longs. But for now, it's still making lower lows and lower highs. So I'm not too interested in GU. Prefer EU this week. And then for the indices, I'll be watching ES to see if it can take out the weekly fair value gap. And if it raids that level, then I would be interested in longs from there. Same idea with NQ. And then again, BTC in price discovery mode. And yeah, we'll see where things go these upcoming weeks. So that is it for today. I hope all is well, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace out.